There is a photograph of you that proves you were there, but you remember none of it. You recognize your own face, but not the place, the people, or the moment. The photograph is complete. Your memory is not. That is because memory is not a recording you can simply replay. It rebuilds the past from pieces: a place, a person, a feeling, a fact you know about yourself, and whatever clues are available now. Sometimes those pieces form a vivid scene. Sometimes they produce only the knowledge that something happened. Now think of an ordinary Tuesday from last month. You were awake for perhaps 16 hours. You saw rooms, faces, streets, and screens. You made dozens of small decisions. Try to recover one complete scene. For most people, almost nothing arrives. Maybe a vague sense of work, a familiar journey, a meal that could belong to any week. The day was full while you lived it. So why is it almost gone? The answer begins with how memory organizes experience. Life feels continuous, but your mind divides it into events. Entering a room, beginning a conversation, reaching a destination, or changing a goal can create a boundary. A visit to a restaurant may later feel like separate chapters. The walk there, sitting down, the meal, and the journey home. These boundaries help memory organize what happened. But ordinary life creates another problem. Imagine taking the same train to work every weekday. You wait on the same platform, sit beneath the same lights, pass the same stations, and enter the same building. Each journey is real, but each one shares almost all its features with many others. Later, Monday morning fits dozens of journeys. The train fits hundreds. Even "I sat by the window" may point to more than one. The memories overlap. They compete for the same clues. So you may remember the routine very well while remembering almost none of its individual repetitions. You know the station, the route, and where you usually stood. What survives is often the pattern. This is what my mornings were like. That does not necessarily mean one Tuesday was erased. The problem may be access. A clue such as work activates too many similar days at once, so no single episode stands out. What remains may survive in another form. Knowing how the route works, what to expect at the office, and how that period of your life generally felt. The specific day becomes hard to retrieve even as its repeated structure becomes familiar. That is how a month can collapse in hindsight. It contained hundreds of experiences, but many use the same places, goals, people, and actions. Later, the period becomes a broad summary instead of a row of distinct scenes. Then one morning breaks the pattern. The train stops inside a tunnel. The lights fail. Someone begins to panic. Years later, that journey may remain clear while the 100 normal journeys around it are difficult to separate. The unusual event gave memory more specific clues. Instead of searching through all your commutes, the mind can search for the morning the lights went out. Distinct moments are easier to find because they stand apart from their neighbors. A smell, a song, or an object can do something similar. It may narrow the search to one room, season, or person. The memory can feel as if it appeared from nowhere, but the clue has reduced the number of possible events. Even then, the scene is rebuilt in the present. Some details return strongly, others are inferred. Recalling it again can even change what feels certain later. Now return to the photograph. It gives you an unusually powerful set of clues. You can see the place, the people, your clothes, perhaps even the exact date. Sometimes that is enough to release a fragment. The weather, a voice, the feeling of the room. But sometimes nothing comes. You can know that an event belongs to your life without being able to re-enter it. That is the photograph paradox. The outside record can be detailed and undeniable, while the inner experience remains absent. A photograph or video can help rebuild an event, but it cannot guarantee the return of the original experience. It can also create something new. After seeing the photograph many times, you may picture the scene easily. But the image in your mind may come from the photograph, not from what you originally saw. Eventually, you may remember the picture or the retelling more clearly than the day itself. The life you remember is not a shorter film of the life you lived. It is a different kind of structure. A few moments remain as specific scenes. Around them are larger periods you know in a more general way. The apartment where you lived, the people you saw, the work you did. Those broader periods are not empty. They are summaries built from repeated experience. That is why an entire year can feel like one chapter, while 5 seconds from that year remain sharp. The chapter tells you what that period was. The surviving scene lets you briefly feel inside it. Specific scenes preserve moments. Broader knowledge gives your life continuity. It lets you know where you came from, what usually happened, which people mattered, and how one period led into another. That account is incomplete. It can be distorted. It can leave out thousands of days that once felt immediate and real. But it allows a person with millions of vanished details to remain connected to a life stretching across decades. Memory gives you continuity without giving you completeness. And that changes what the missing Tuesday means. If you cannot recover it, you were not absent from your own life. The day was not empty, and it did not necessarily leave no trace. Its details may have blended into habits, knowledge, and the general shape of that period. The day can remain part of you without remaining available as a scene. You do not carry your life as an archive. You carry enough surviving scenes and patterns to rebuild one.